When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, passing your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know
Well, Coach, no rain in the forecast. That's the good news, but it is a chilly December day here in the Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Cousins on first down. And right away, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go.
They go read option with Wilson. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
14, run it. You ain't doing nothing.
Wilson now off the bootleg. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick.
Under pressure, they got him again. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To try again after the sack. Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. And he's able to find Diggs. He's at the 30, 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His 5th touchdown now on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 7-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. On first down, Carson. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. He's at the 40. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Cousins now. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Took just 1 play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Flush to his right. This one into the hands of Metcalf. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 29-yard line.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Tuck 50.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. From the 24, Wilson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're going to have a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Mike, 90. Here we go. Watch some quick. Watch the pass.
Wilson now to throw on third down. And he's got his target. That's more. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Get that Mike 52. Mike 52.
Watch the run. Watch the
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Taysom Hill, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is down to a field goal. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
382, late 50. Mike 54. Here we go.
On 2nd down, Cook. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. That's Ziggy Ansah, the number 5 pick in 2013, credited with a sack. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, it's Carson, and he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. Carson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
What? 280. 54, right there. 54, Mike. I'm going to come back to you.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. From the 24. Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
From the 40 now on second down. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third? Cousins. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now it's Carson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. There he goes, right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Out, out, out.
A first down throw for Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Cousins to throw it. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear him now. 3rd and goal.
He's coming. Double up, double up.
To the air again, it's Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson throwing again. He'll buy some time right. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. This is Carson. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. On 2nd and 9. Wilson flushed out right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second and a yard, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Cousins, open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins buying time to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ziggy Ansah able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Third and long for Cousins. And this one to Treadwell, complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the fourth. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy.
I'll go special.
Here's McKissick. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
You got tight right there. 25, check 25, check 25.
From the 40 now on second down. Wilson escaping and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. Complete. He finds Bray. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wilson, and now he'll turn, and off his back foot, he'll heave this deep. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
1st and 10 at the 33.
Here's Carson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson to throw. Flush to his right. It's complete to Lockett. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a first down in field goal range already. He's back to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They run it with Carson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
And the Seahawks on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Wilson to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. So with the lead now at 4, they'll try to go for 2 to at least get it to 6 with a 2-point conversion. Throwing now is Wilson, being chased out left. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Able to slither by.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. Now Cousins. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Cousins. And that will be incomplete. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. Now Cousins on 4th down. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Cousins to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 24. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at it from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quicker.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. We'll see if they bring that pressure. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.